You ever feel like you're the one standing in your own way? Like there's this better version of your life just on the other side of you, but somehow you keep pulling yourself back. Every morning starts with good intentions. You promise yourself, today's the day I get it together. But slowly, the same old fears, the same distractions, laziness, or just feeling stuck creeps in again. And by nighttime, you're lying there staring at the ceiling, wondering, am I avoiding myself? Carl Jung once said something that hits deep. Maybe you haven't even met your biggest enemy yet, and maybe that enemy is you. We look everywhere else for someone to blame. Our past, people, timing. But how often are we just afraid to admit we're the ones holding ourselves back? And yeah, we lie to ourselves. Little things like, I always mess up, or it's too late for me, or I'm not cut out for this. The worst part? We believe those lies. We silence that deeper voice inside, the one that says we're meant for more. Because facing it feels hard, risky, uncomfortable. We go through the motions, put on a smile, post a version of our life that looks great on the outside, but inside we're tired. There's a version of us that just wants to be seen, even by ourselves, but we keep avoiding that version because it speaks the truth we don't want to hear. We've been raised to think strength means hiding pain, that vulnerability is weakness, that being quiet and pushing through is noble. So we become robots, smiling, nodding, pretending, when really we're not okay. But the truth? We're not lying to others. We're lying to ourselves. Jung believed if we don't face what's buried inside us, our unconscious, it'll control us from the shadows. We'll think it's fate or bad luck, but really, we've just been ignoring our stuff, that anger we never talk about, the envy we pretend doesn't exist, the guilt we carry but never unpack. That's all part of our shadow. And even if we act like it's not there, it still runs the show, in our habits, in how we treat people, in what triggers us. But what if we just stopped running for a second? What if you asked, what am I actually afraid of? What part of me have I shoved down? Who could I become if I just faced it? Those questions, they're not walls, they're doors. Not doors out into the world, doors inward, doors to healing, to truth. It won't feel nice at first, it's messy, but it's real. And for once, you're not just surviving the day, you're waking up to yourself. Eventually, you realize the person you've been avoiding isn't someone out there, it's you. Not the version you show the world, but the full, raw, messy, real you. We all wear masks. We show up to work or hangouts acting like we've got it figured out, but beneath that mask is a storm, a voice we've quieted too long. It shows up in weird ways, like why we snap over small things, or feel numb, or can't seem to connect. That's not random, that's the shadow. And the more we run from it, the stronger it gets. But if we slow down and really listen, it becomes a guide. The things that bother us most in others, they're often things we haven't faced in ourselves. Triggers turn into teachers. When you notice what upsets you, what scares you, what you avoid, that's where your work is. Not to beat yourself up, but to finally understand yourself. You start journaling, catching patterns, asking questions like, is this really anger, or is it fear? Is it jealousy? Or is there something I secretly want but won't admit? Suddenly, all that stuff you buried starts making sense, and you realize ignoring it never protected you. It just stalled your growth. How can you become your whole self if you're only willing to live with half of it? Real growth isn't about chasing some ideal. It's about accepting your human mess fully. That means owning your softness and your strength. For men, maybe that means finally allowing emotion instead of pushing it down. For women, maybe it means finding your voice instead of shrinking back. Balance doesn't mean being neutral. It means being real. Some days that looks like forgiving someone or yourself. Other days it means walking away or finally saying what you've wanted to say, even if it rocks the boat. Sometimes the hardest thing is standing still while everyone expects you to keep playing along. Not because you're lost, but because you're finally listening to yourself. That stillness, that's growth, that's transformation. And somewhere along this road you realize You're not chasing anything anymore. You're just learning to live true, to be whole, to stop pretending. You're no longer desperate to be the smartest, fastest, most admired person in the room. You're just trying to be honest with yourself. Clarity doesn't slam into you like a light bulb moment. It sneaks in, slowly, in the pauses. One day someone says something that would have ruined your mood, but this time, you breathe. You don't react, not because you've gone numb, but because now you get it. You know what's yours and what isn't. And when someone doesn't like you, it doesn't crush you anymore, because you've stopped outsourcing your worth. You've stopped chasing likes like they're proof of life. You're not a project. You're a person worth understanding, a person allowed to feel and fall and rise again. You let go of the need to have it all figured out, because you've learned that growth isn't about arriving, it's about evolving. It's not some epic journey with a medal at the top. It's daily, it's quiet. Sometimes it's crying in the car. Sometimes it's choosing not to text back. Sometimes it's sitting alone, not because you're broken, but because peace feels better than performance. And maybe the biggest shift, you stop trying to become something better. You just decide to become you, fully, loudly, softly, messily. So if you're wondering when life finally starts to make sense, look in the mirror. Look inward, because you're not lost. You're just on your way home. You always were. But even as you begin to walk this road back to yourself, there will be days when the old patterns tug at you like gravity. You'll feel the pull to go back, to numb, to distract, to pretend. And that's okay. Healing isn't a straight line, it's a spiral. You'll revisit the same wounds, but each time with more clarity, more strength, more self-compassion. There will be moments when you look in the mirror and wonder if anything's really changing. But look closer. You'll see it in the way you pause before reacting, in the way you choose kindness even when your pride wants otherwise, in the way you show up for yourself when no one's watching. That's growth. That's becoming. And you won't always get it right. Sometimes you'll fall back into old habits, speak from old wounds, or choose silence when you meant to speak up. But those moments don't make you broken, they make you human. The goal was never to be perfect, it was to be whole. And wholeness includes the missteps, the confusion, the doubts. Every stumble is still a step. You'll notice, slowly, how your definition of strength changes. It's no longer about holding everything together or keeping up appearances. It's about letting go when you need to, admitting when you're wrong, asking for help, saying I don't know without shame. That's real strength, and it's rare. You'll begin to see how much of your old life was built on fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being alone. And yet, as you face those fears one by one, you start to feel lighter, not because life gets easier, but because you stop carrying the weight of pretending. You find peace in honesty, not the kind that's loud or dramatic, but the quiet, grounded kind. The kind that lets you say, this is who I am. I'm still learning, and that's enough. You'll also start noticing how different the world feels when you're no longer at war with yourself. Other people's opinions lose their grip on you. Small things that used to ruin your day suddenly don't matter as much. You no longer need to win arguments, prove your worth, or chase approval. You're not performing anymore. You're just being. And in that space of being, real connection becomes possible. You'll attract different people. Those who value honesty over image, depth over surface. You'll learn to recognize which relationships nourish you and which ones drain you. And you'll start choosing your energy like you choose your food, with intention, care, and self-respect. Sometimes this growth will make you feel lonelier at first, because not everyone will understand this new version of you. Some will miss the old you, the one who agreed to everything, the one who hid their pain, the one who stayed quiet. But you'll realize anyone who can't accept your truth never really saw you in the first place. And in that realization, you'll find power. The power to walk away from what no longer serves you. The power to build a life that actually feels good on the inside, not just looks good from the outside. You'll realize that true peace isn't the absence of chaos. It's the ability to stay grounded while the world spins around you. You'll stop chasing happy and start seeking meaning, fulfillment, purpose, and maybe for the first time you'll feel at home in your own skin.